Here are the top cartoons we reviewed in 2023. Enjoy this trip down nostalgia lane.
Come on!
We'll never forget you. What you've done, Snake Eyes. We owe you our lives. For now, we've got to get out of this trap.
Let's move out before Cobra comes in here after us.
G.I. Joe, a real American hero. How's my singing? Not great. This classic animated series that first aired in the 80s was home to some of the most memorable and iconic characters in popular culture. One of these characters was Snake Eyes, the silent but deadly commando, who quickly became one of the most beloved and recognizable figures of the franchise. The character Snake Eyes was first introduced in 1982 and was created as the ultimate action hero. He was portrayed as a mysterious and brooding figure with a face hidden behind a mask and a ninja-like fighting style that made him the epitome of cool. Despite being one of the most fearsome soldiers in the G.I. Joe team, Snake Eyes also has a strong sense of honor and duty, making him a true hero in every sense of the word. In the 80s, Snake Eyes was a cultural phenomenon that influenced many people, including me, who has a ninja-themed tattoo starring a few different Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe characters. It captivated audiences with its action-packed adventures and thrilling battles against the evil forces of Cobra. Snake Eyes was featured predominantly in the animated series, comic books, and toy line, and became one of the most popular characters of the franchise. Snake Eyes was also a symbol of the 80s zeitgeist, and interestingly enough, was originally planned to have much more weaponry, but had a number of things removed due to budget restrictions. He reflected the decade's love for action movies and ninja-themed pop culture. His ninja skills and samurai-inspired design made him a standout character among the G.I. Joes, and his popularity continues to endure to this day. Additionally, he had a huge impact on pop culture and a profound influence on the toy industry. His action figure was one of the most popular toys of the 80s and helped cement the success of the G.I. Joe toy line. It also inspired a movie a few years ago that unfortunately was not very good. I had a really hard time even staying awake, and I'm a huge fan of Snake Eyes. In summation, Snake Eyes is a true icon and a testament to the enduring popularity of G.I. Joes. Many new iterations have continued in recent decades. Whether you grew up with the series or are discovering it for the first time, Snake Eyes is a character that will always evoke feelings of excitement and nostalgia and will forever be remembered as one of the coolest and most beloved figures of the 80s. Michelangelo is the most recognizable as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle in the orange mask. Like his siblings, he loves pizza, especially pizza with clams, tuna, sauerkraut, chocolate, ice cream, bananas, jelly beans, and peanut butter. But he also loves skateboarding, sarcasm, and sometimes even surfing. Even though he is a good fighter with his nunchucks and will never back down from a fight, he prefers to relax and have fun rather than train for fights. At various times he fights with a grappling hook, Manriki Kusari, Kusari Gama, Tonfa, and a 3-section staff. But his primary weapon, the one he's most comfortable with, is dual nunchucks, which is also what I used back when I was in Kempo. Throughout the Ninja Turtle comics and cartoons, Michelangelo is shown to be the most carefree and fun-loving of the 4 brothers. His perpetual optimism and wisecracking are the humorous glue that bonds the brothers together, even when they are facing tough fights and impossible situations. Sadly, all of that changes in later years during the last Ronin period of TMNT. Michelangelo emerges as the only
survivor of an extermination orchestrated by Oroku Hiroto. After losing his brothers and almost everyone he loves, Michelangelo has no home. He's bitter, and he's no longer the optimistic turtle that we know and love. He becomes determined to get a revenge on Oroku Hiroto, but his grief makes him careless. He starts making a lot of mistakes and taking risks that are not well calculated. Mikey doesn't really care if he lives or dies, as long as he can make Oroku Hiroto pay for the deaths of his friends and family. Spoiler alert for The Last Ronin, number 5. In that comic, Michelangelo dies, but not before he manages to kill Oroku Hiroto and avenge his friends and family. So his sacrifice may have been worth it in the end. He is reunited with his brothers in the afterlife. However, I doubt that will be the last we see of the Ninja Turtles in the comics. Certainly, someday, more movies will come, and we'll probably see him in more comic books in the very near future. Hello, fellow nerds. Chrononaut, a band of time-traveling nerds, are here to bring you all the lore from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe, Star Wars, Pokemon, and more. I hope you'll travel with us to the past and share your ideas with the group on where you think your favorite cinematic, gaming, or comic book universe will go next. Click the link in the description to join us on our adventures.
Danger Mouse is a British animated television series that first aired in 1981. The show was created by Brian Cosgrove and Mark Hall, the founders of animation studio Cosgrove Hall Films. The series was a parody of the British spy genre and was heavily influenced by the popular James Bond film series. The main character, Danger Mouse, is a secret agent who works for a fictional British intelligence agency known as the British Secret Service. He is a mouse who wears a white suit, red tie, and a pair of goggles, and is known for his bravery and intelligence. He is assisted by his trusty sidekick Penfold, who is a timid and clumsy hamster. Together they embark on various spy missions and battle against the villains Baron Silas, Greenback, and his henchmen. Danger Mouse was an instant hit with audiences and quickly became one of the most popular children's shows on British television. The show is praised for its clever writing, witty humor, and its use of puns and wordplay. The animation style of the show was also praised for its attention to detail and its use of bright and vibrant colors. The show ran for over a decade, airing a total of 156 episodes. It was also adapted into a comic book series and spawned a new cartoon called Count Duckula. The show was so popular that it was also dubbed in several languages and was broadcast in many countries around the world. Shredder is the original big baddie in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe. This super-duper villain is the main antagonist of the Turtles and their master Splinter, and has been a fixture in the series since the very beginning. Shredder, who was originally known as Oroku Sake, is the leader of the Foot Clan and determined to carry out his evil plots and schemes no matter who gets in his way. He especially hates the Turtles and has launched many attempts to end them all. The Shredder moniker comes from his armor. His shoulders are covered with sharp bladed plates called epaulets, and he has a helmet with a really sharp blade on the top. In every iteration of the series, including comic books and live-action movies, Splinter is the pet rat
of a ninjutsu expert named Yamato Yoshi. However, out of jealousy, Shredder kills Splinter's master, creating an enemy for life. According to the creator Kevin Eastman, Shredder was originally going to be called Grater, or the Grater, because the inspiration for his unique armor look came from a particular type of cheese grater. Shredder became a villain in the TMNT universe through many incarnations of animated and live-action TV series and movies, and sometimes even video games. At one point, Shredder was mutated and became the Super Shredder. Super Shredder's first appearance in the comic books was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 in May of 1984. His first appearance in the movies was in TMNT #2, Secrets of the Ooze, from 1991, where Kevin Nash played Super Shredder. In Secrets of the Ooze, the mutated Super Shredder is too mighty for the Ninja Turtles to fight. But when he walks out onto a dock and rips it apart, he causes it to collapse in on him. In the 2012 animated series, Super Shredder is finally defeated by the Ninja Turtles and Leonardo, who killed the Super Shredder and finally ended the decades-long vendetta. Throughout the TMNT universe, the Turtles have fought and sometimes killed various versions of Shredder. But it is those final battles with mutant Super Shredder that many people think of as the last battle that has loomed the largest in the Turtles' adventures. Hello, fellow nerds. Chrononaut, a band of time-traveling nerds, are here to bring you all the lore from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe, Star Wars, Pokemon, and more. I hope you'll travel with us to the past and share your ideas with the group on where you think your favorite cinematic, gaming, or comic book universe will go next. Click the link in the description to join us on our adventures. Get early access to new videos every week with 0 ads at chrononaut.com. The primary source of villainy in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe is the Foot Clan. In the comics, movies, video games, and any other platform where you'll see the Ninja Turtle universe, you can be sure that Shredder is there, leading the Foot Clan in villainous activities. Many do not know that the Ninja Turtles were originally created as a satirical farce of the Daredevil universe. The Foot Clan are an impersonation of the Hand from the Daredevil comics, but both serve as the primary antagonists of our titular heroes, Daredevil and the Ninja Turtles. Nobody really knew how popular the Ninja Turtles would become. In fact, they became far more popular than what they were originally satirizing. The Foot Clan are ninjas who are experts in ninjutsu and black magic, and they use both weapons quite well. They love to come at the Ninja Turtles and their allies with both physical and magical attacks, although it would be hard to say which was more effective against the Turtles. In comic book lore, the Foot Clan was founded in feudal Japan by Sato and Oshi. In Volume 1, Issue 47, the Ninja Turtles and Time Mistress Renat use her powers and end up in feudal Japan. Raphael meets Sato and Oshi and teaches them ninjutsu. After Raphael and the other turtles return to their own time, Oshi and Sato continue to practice ninjutsu and turn their organization into the fearsome Foot Clan, using what Raphael had taught them. Together they made the Foot Clan the most prolific and feared fighters in Japan. The 1987 Ninja Turtles cartoon used the same version of the origin story of the Foot Clan. The story was very closely aligned to the comic books and that timeline, but in the IDW publishing version of the comic, the origin story of the Foot Clan is a little bit different. In that version, the group was also founded in feudal Japan, but it was founded by a ronin named Takeshi Tatsuo. After the sorceress Kitsune helped him recover from wounds he suffered in an assassination attempt, led by his former master, he founded his own clan. That clan was called the Foot, and he used his own bloody foot to make their sigil. In the 90s live-action movies, there was not much on the background of the Foot Clan. They were simply ninja thieves who had been sent to New York from Japan. The Foot Clan has never been known as the greatest ninjas, but they're always looking for new members because they fall quite easily. So if you've got nothing to do, you might check them out. Just be aware, a giant green turtle may be in your way. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more of the Foot Clan in upcoming Ninja Turtles live-action remakes, give it a share to spread the word. If you feel like the Foot Clan should be roundly defeated by the Ninja Turtles for good, then leave a comment. You can also follow the link in the description of this video to our website to leave us a video response. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Hello, fellow nerds. Chrononaut, a band of time-traveling nerds, are here to bring you all the lore from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe, Star Wars, Pokemon, and more. I hope you'll travel with us to the past and share your ideas with the group on where you think your favorite cinematic, gaming, or comic book universe will go next. Click the link in the description to join us on our adventures. Bebop and Rocksteady are a couple of hilarious yet simple-minded super mutant thugs from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle universe. Unlike the Ninja Turtles, who are named after famous Italian Renaissance artists, Bebop and Rocksteady are named after music styles. Bebop is a style of jazz, while Rocksteady is a Jamaican style of reggae. They first appeared in the 1987 animated series because show producers wanted more mutants for the show. According to their origin stories, they were originally criminal members of Shredder's gang, but were mutated into a warthog and a rhinoceros after being defeated by the Turtles. Shredder is the leader of the Foot Clan and the main antagonist of the TMNT series. They were later added to the Ninja Turtle comic universe after becoming regular characters in the TV series and films. They were also heavily featured in some video games. Bebop and Rocksteady are known for having crazy superhuman strength and not a lot of smarts. They are muscle-bound hulks for Shredder as he carries out his scheming. Although some believe Bebop and Rocksteady were only created as marketing tools, we know the true story. They're cool as shit. Bebop and Rocksteady became so popular that they were amongst the first 10 action figures created from the Ninja Turtle universe. Unfortunately, production on those stopped way back in 1995. Fortunately, those action figures were re-released in 2009 as part of a 25-year celebration of the Ninja Turtles. It shouldn't be surprising to those of us who grew up in the 80s that there aren't many action figures left from way back then, especially not in mint condition. You can see mine on the picture on your screen, where Bebop is sheepishly hiding his missing hand. Hello, fellow nerds. Chrononaut, a band of time-traveling nerds, are here to bring you all the lore from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe, Star Wars, Pokemon, and more. I hope you'll travel with us to the past and share your ideas with the group on where you think your favorite cinematic, gaming, or comic book universe will go next. Click the link in the description to join us on our adventures. The original Inspector Gadget came out in 1982 and featured a bionic detective with many special abilities that he used to fight crime. Despite his best effort, Inspector Gadget would often gum the works and make things somehow worse. Fortunately, his niece Penny and his trusty dog Brain would help him to fight Dr. Claw of the crime syndicate named MAD. Depending on who you ask or what episode you watch, Dr. Claw's evil crime syndicate either stands for Malevolent Agency of Destruction or Mean and Dirty, and it's based on the James Bond villain named Spectre or the Syndicate. Dr. Claw is famous for always petting his pet cat as well as voicing the phrase, "I'll get you next time, Gadget." Dr. Claw's face was never seen in the original series. However, you could see his face via the action figure, but there was actually a sticker covering it, so you would have to buy the box in order to open it and figure out what he actually looked like. Inspector Gadget's niece Penny and her dog Brain are often helping Inspector Gadget save the day. Sometimes they come across as even a bit smarter than him. However, Inspector Gadget is probably just a bit of a clumsy uncle. Penny is one of the main protagonists of the show, and she's kind of always saving Inspector Gadget's butt. When he makes mistakes, she's there to help him solve crimes and complete missions. But in the end, she always is nice enough to let him have all the credit. We find out in the live-action version of Inspector Gadget that his real name is Jonathan Brown. He's also portrayed by Matthew Broderick, who's famous for movies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off and War Games. A popular fan theory is that Dr. Claw is the true and original Inspector Gadget, but after suffering a terrible accident, ended up being replaced by an identical robot who happens to be the Inspector Gadget that we are far more familiar with. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. If you want to see more of Inspector Gadget, Penny, and Brain, then give it a share to spread the word. If you would like to leave a video response, then please click the link in the description. Hello fellow nerds. Chrononaut, a band of time-traveling nerds, are here to bring you all the lore from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC Extended Universe, Star Wars, Pokemon, and more. I hope you'll travel with us to the past and share your ideas with the group on where you think your favorite cinematic, gaming, or comic book universe will go next. Click the link in the description to join us on our adventures.
Friendly spirits from the forest grow. We're friendly spirits from the forest grow. We are brave, we are bold, like a storyteller told. That we're strong and we will fight, and we'll stand up for our rights. We're friendly spirits from the forest grow. We are friendly spirits from the forest road. Yes, we're home on the barrel and on highways in the trees. When we want to fly high, we just sail out on the reef. We are the said we're one big happy family. We are the one big happy family.
nostalgic look at the 1985 Yorks cartoon, origins, tribes, and a galaxy far, far away. In 1985, the world was introduced to a delightful extension of the Star Wars universe with the Yorks animated series. This children's cartoon followed the adventures of the furry, teddy bear-like creatures called Yorks, who originally appeared in the 1983 movie Star Wars Episode 4 Return of the Jedi. The show captured the hearts of fans and provided an exciting glimpse into the daily lives of these lovable creatures on their home planet, Endor. This article will explore the origins and backstory of the Yorks cartoon, as well as the different York tribes featured in the 1985 show. The origin and backstory of the cartoon. The Yorks cartoon series was created by Nelvana, a Canadian animation studio, in collaboration with Lucasfilm. George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, was directly involved in the development of the show. The series premiered on September 7, 1985, as part of the Yorks and Droids Adventure Hour, a programming block that also featured the Star Wars Droids animated series. Set on the forest moon of Endor, the cartoon took place before the events of Return of the Jedi. It focused on the everyday lives and adventures of the Yorks as they encountered various challenges, from natural disasters to confrontations with their enemies, the Dulocs, and other creatures from Endor. The different York tribes. The series explored the social structure and customs of the York tribes, providing a deeper understanding of their world. The most prominent tribe featured in the cartoon was the Bright Tree Village tribe, led by Chief Chirper. Some of the notable characters from this tribe included 1. Wicket W. Warwick, the main character of the series. Wicket was a brave and adventurous young York who would go on to play a significant role in helping the Rebel Alliance in Return of the Jedi. 2. Princess Nisa, the daughter of Chief Chirper and the tribe's princess. Nisa was a skilled warrior and diplomat who often accompanied Wicket on his adventures. 3. Tebow, Wicket's best friend and a budding shaman. Tebow was fascinated by the mystic arts and often relied on his knowledge of York lore to help his friends. 4. Latara, a talented musician and Nisa's best friend. Latara often got involved in the group's adventures, despite her initial reluctance. 5. Paplu, a brave and cunning York. Paplu was known for his resourcefulness and quick thinking. In addition to the Bright Tree Village tribe, the show also introduced other tribes such as the Leaf Queens tribe and the Rock Council tribe, each with their unique customs and traditions. In summation, the 1985 Yorks cartoon provided fans with a heartwarming and entertaining look into the lives of the endearing York characters. Through its captivating storytelling and exploration of the various York tribes, the series enriched the Star Wars universe and left a lasting impact on fans. To this day, the Yorks animated series remains a treasured part of the Star Wars legacy, reminding us all of the magic and adventure that can be found in a galaxy far, far away.